Welcome to our stretching and rolling routine. You can either follow along with me or just look at the exercises and stretches and then go ahead and take those and use the ones that you need certain days and leave the ones that you don't need and time everything on your own. Otherwise, I'm going to walk you through and you can follow along with this video. So you'll need your body and a roller. If you have a roller, it doesn't have to look exactly like this, but some sort of body roller. Sometimes you can get those long ones too. I only like this one because it's a little bit more portable. But we're gonna start with a hip flexor stretch. So you're gonna take a nice half kneel position. We're taking our hips and pushing them forward, kind of tucking underneath with those hips. You should feel a stretch right up here through that hip flexor. And just breathe through that stretch. You can also take the same leg, arm that's in that back position, up overhead, and then lean slightly to the side of that front leg. What you'll notice is that stretch starts to come up even a little bit higher. And again, just breathe. And when that feels nice and stretched, 30 seconds is plenty of time. If you need to do more, great. Switch sides, tuck those hips underneath, really push those hips forward. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And then you can take that arm up and lean slightly over, if and when that feels good. This stretch is just one of my favorites. So simple, but it makes a big difference in how my body feels. All right, from there, we're gonna go back to that first side, setting up very similarly, but now I want you to windshield wiper that leg, or that foot rather, underneath, so that if I, again, visually here, you can see my foot now is through the gap of my leg instead of back here like it originally was, okay? Now from here, you may need to step out just a little bit with that front foot, and we're gonna rock into a deeper hip stretch. This one is actually a very good pre-labor stretch, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing it's good for. Going at your pace, really rocking into that stretch, pushing through that front heel. Should feel really good throughout the inner thighs and then your hips as well. A good hip opener. And then when you're ready, go ahead and switch to that other side. Again, same thing, just different angle from the video. Do as much or as little here as you need, but just a nice one to create a little bit of movement. Good in a warm-up situation, because again, it's a little bit of motion. And then we are going to move into a deep squat, hold and rock. So I usually start in a standing position here, set up like you're gonna set up for a squat, and then you're gonna bring those heels in, sit down into that squat. You may not be able to get this low. This may not be a realistic exercise for you, getting as low as you can, but if you can push those elbows against your legs, you can take a rock side to side here. That feels really good. Or you can just simply hold. Getting farther towards the ground each time. Stretching is like any exercise where the more you actually practice it and put it into practice, the better at it you get. But it's definitely something you have to work at, but I promise it's worth it when you really do put in the effort. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is a thread the needle / an upper body rotation. So you're gonna take almost a bird dog position where we have both knees, both hands on the ground, but this time we're gonna take one arm behind your head. We're gonna rotate to open to the side, and then we're gonna tuck underneath, bringing that elbow through. You can also do this with a long arm, bringing that hand through, trying to reach your ear and shoulder for the ground. And we're just gonna move through that. Stretch. Nice and slow. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Again, do as many there as you need. And then we're gonna switch. Same idea on the other side. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. All right. From there, we're gonna take it to a quick child's pose, 30 seconds or more. Putting those feet together, knees wide, arms long, really sitting those hips back. You should be stretching, trying to get taller as you breathe through this stretch. Slow inhale and slow exhale. Preferably inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Keep stretching, getting longer. All right, when you've had a good period of time there in that stretch, you can move out of it nice and slowly. Next, we're gonna grab that roller. We're gonna start by rolling your calves. So this is one that quite honestly is painful. If you go like max effort, max intensity right off the bat and you don't normally roll your calves. So you may need to ease into it. I'll show you kind of the steps here. Step one would be to have the opposite foot on the ground, and we're just gonna roll on the bottom half of your calf. And then you see I'm kind of turning my leg in and out to see if there's any tense spots there. You might have some, I don't today. So I'm gonna move it up just a little bit and do that same thing up a little bit higher on my calf. I have one area on the inner calf that I can feel. And if there's any spot that has a lot of tension, just stop, put pressure there, and then roll above and below. That should help. And then again, kind of work your way up that calf, rolling on the outside, middle, and inside of that calf. Now that's the starting position. Position number 2 would actually be to put your other leg on top, adding a little bit more pressure. Again, starting at the bottom of your calf, moving all the way up your leg, or up your calf rather. The third position would be to actually lift your hips off the ground. So you're putting all your body pressure onto that calf. Got a couple spots here that are a little tender. So just gonna roll above and below. Hold pressure there for a couple seconds. All right, that already feels a little better. Okay, then we're gonna move to that other side, same thing. Level 1, 2, or 3, kind of depending on where you're at. Start at the bottom of your calf. If there's no tender spots, move on up. If there's some tender spots, stay there, hold pressure, and then roll above and below. And then when you're done going up your calf, you can take that full range of motion up and down your calf on the inside, the outside. Oh yeah, that feels good. The next thing, or next part of the body we're gonna do is your glutes. This one is not going to be feasible for everyone in terms of your flexibility. So if this doesn't work for you, you can skip ahead a little bit, and you can stretch your glutes actually by crossing one leg over and then not even using the foam roller. You want to press your chest towards your legs, taking one leg over your knee. You don't want to press right on your knee, but just above it, and then flexing that foot. Takes a little pressure off your knee. So you can do it that way too. If you're using the roller, we are going to set the roller under one glute. It's the glute with the leg that's going to cross over top. Okay, and that puts us in that stretch position where our glute's a little bit more vulnerable, if you will. And then you're gonna roll up and down on the side of that glute. Again, if there's a tender spot, stop, hold pressure, roll above and below it, or you can take that full range of motion there instead. That feels good today. And then when you're ready, taking it to that other side, same thing. The leg that crosses over, we're flexing that foot, and then we're rolling that leg, that side of the body glute. Pausing to hold pressure on spots that are tense, that have a lot of resistance. All right, so moving on from that one, we're gonna roll onto your quads. Now, with my foam roller being the shorter variation, I typically do one leg at a time for quads. If you have a longer one, you can do them both at the same time. Both of my legs technically fit on here, but usually I like to do one just to put a little bit more emphasis on that one side. So I'm gonna lay on the roller, starting it at my hip flexor. And then from here, actually I'm gonna start it at right above my knee just so you can still see me. And then I'm gonna roll my body back up to my hip flexor and then back up just above my knee. Trying to relax that leg that is being rolled because if you're tensing it up, you're actually not gonna expose the muscle quite as well. To be relaxed, elongated, stretched, rolled. So kind of rolling there. And you can play with the placement of your foot in the back too. Changing the angle is going to change how it feels. And then again, if you find a spot with tension, we're going to stop, hold pressure, breathe, roll above and below that little spot. Do it again. Like so. Okay, I'm gonna switch sides. If you've got that long foam roller, you don't need to switch sides. Same thing on this side. Working up and down. You can go at your speed too. I do this fairly quickly just to kind of find that tense spot. And if I'm trying to relax more, I'll typically go slower. When it hurts, it doesn't always feel super great to go slow either. And again, same thing with the stretching. The more you actively practice foam rolling, it's going to get less painful and your body is going to learn and adjust from that. The next thing we're gonna do, we have 2 roller exercises left. This one's gonna be left side, right side, obviously. But you're gonna put the foam roller down on the ground next to your body, and we're gonna roll your IT band, which is on the side from your hip all the way down to your knee on the side of your body. I'm gonna start it kind of by my knee. I'm gonna extend the bottom leg that's on the roller. I'm helping by propping myself up and using my leg for stability here, so I'm really placing my foot on the ground. And then I'm gonna roll just above my knee on the side of my leg, rolling that roller all the way up to my hip. This one takes practice, and it probably won't feel very good. This does not feel good today. especially as you get closer to your knee for most people. There's gonna be a lot of tension there. Oh, I guess Zeus has decided to join us. Yeah. So find a spot if there's tension, roll up and down on that little spot. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this does not feel great today. I need to do more of this, obviously. Start in small increments, but the more you roll, like it already does feel a little bit better. And this one too, if you're sitting in a chair all day, is really good. All right, I'm gonna switch sides. Doing that same thing on the other side, long leg on the bottom, that's on the roller. Front foot is planted. I'm propping myself up with my hands, and then I'm gonna roll right on the side. It's not comfortable. You've kind of got to get past the discomfort. But when you do, it's well worth the pain because it feels so good. And then the last one that we're going to do is upper back. So you can do this a variety of ways. You can simply roll up and down, or you can do a little bit of a back extension too. So we're gonna put that roller kind of mid-back, and then I'm gonna prop. If you have long hair, you definitely wanna keep it out of the way. Or if you have a hood on, definitely keep it out of the way, otherwise you get stuck. With your foam roller, take your hips off the ground. We're just gonna rock forward, walking my feet farther away from my body. So I'm rolling up my back, and then down my back. To repeat. You can do that as much or as little as you want to, and then I'm going to put it up my mid-back, taking my hands behind my head for support, not pulling on my neck, and I'm just going to extend back a little bit and forward. I'm going to roll that roller up my back like maybe an inch, maybe, and then do that same thing, roll it up an inch, extend just a little bit, all along your back. This can help open everything up on the front side too. And then just take it up and down one or two more times. And that's gonna be our rolling and stretching routine. If you need to come back to it, work along with me, great. If you wanna take, again, the exercises that you need for that day, put them into your own routine and not watch the video and follow along, that's totally fine too. Otherwise, hope you enjoy.